Hey everyone, welcome back, and in this video let's talk about how you can get custom inputs from the user. So till now what we were doing is we were creating variables and we were assigning the value to them there itself, right? But there was no way that we can take the input on the go, like from the user. So in this video we'll be seeing that how you can take input from the user. Okay, so taking an input from the user is really simple. So let's code a Java program in which we can create, we can get the information from the user and then perform certain operations on it. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, let's create a boilerplate code. Okay, so public class main, and then we have public static void main, and it has string arguments, right? String array basically. Now let's do one thing, now we are going to begin with the code in which we want to get the input from the user. Now to get the input from the user, we need a class, basically a class named as scanner. Okay, now what is this scanner class? Basically in Java we have something known as packages. Okay, like you can understand packages as a library. Okay, so we need to import a library from Java which is right built into it, and we can use a scanner class like which we get out of the box from the Java to basically get the input from the user. Okay, if you are finding this a little bit confusing, just see the code and you will find it really easy. Now to use the scanner class, basically the scanner class to take the input from the user, you need to write one statement here. You need to say import, and then you need to say Java, okay, dot util, basically a util package, and then you can import the scanner class from here. Okay, basically what I am doing, I need this scanner class. Okay, so first of all I need to import it. So I say java.util, basically util is a package, and then I'm importing a scanner class here. Now what I can do is basically I can use this scanner class. Okay, so I need to use this scanner class and create a object of this scanner class. Okay, now what is a object, or how we can create objects? Okay, so I'll be telling you a very basic thing. I'll be telling you like very basics of object, but we'll be covering this topic when we will be going to the oops section. Okay, so let's try to understand what is an object. So basically this scanner class is a class, right? This scanner is a class, and to use the functions inside this class we need to create object of this class. So to create an object, basically what we do is, first of all we write down the name of the class. Okay, then we give a variable name. Let's say I'm giving it a scan. You can give it any name. You can give it s, you can give it a. So but it's a good practice to give the same name as the class but with a lowercase. So basically the class name, then your variable name, then you have to set an assignment operator, and you have to say new, basically a new keyword, and then repeat the name of the class. Okay, so what this statement will do is basically create an object of the scanner class and assign and give the instance of the scanner class in this variable. Okay, now this you can see here an error is coming, right? So basically you need to specify from where you want to get the input. So I want to get the input from the standard way, like from the keyboard. So I'll say system.in. Okay, let's try to understand this statement again. So what I did, first of all I imported the scanner class, right? This part is clear. So how we can import? I can say import java.util.scanner. So basically my import is done. Now what I need to do is, to use this scanner class, I cannot use any class or any method directly. I need to create a I need to create a object of a class. How to create an object is basically you write down the class name. Okay, then you name your variable. Like your variable name can be anything. So I named it scanner. Okay, then what you can do, basically you use this assignment operator. Okay, and then you set it to new. This is a new keyword, and then you say scanner. And this scanner class says how you want to get the input. So I say system.in. So what this statement will do, this will make a instance of this scanner class and assign it to the scanner. Now what I can do, I can access the methods of this scanner class using this scanner object. Let's try to understand how. For example, I have a int, okay, a. Now let's say I want to get the input of the a from the user. So how can I do that? I can say scanner, okay, dot. Now I want to get an integer type input, right? Because the user can type anything. He can type a letter, he can type a number, he can type a symbol, but I want a input that is of type integer. So I'll say dot next int. Okay, so what this statement will do is basically this particular thing, like this next int function which is inside this scanner class, will take care of taking the input from the user. It will like take input from the user, and whatever user enters as the input will be assigned to A. Now let's say I say an S out here. Okay, an S out, I say you have entered. Okay, you have entered, then this concatenation symbol, and then I can say A. Okay, let's try to run this code, and I'll say play. Now as you can see, like we are getting a blinking cursor here, right? So let's say like I enter 22. Okay, now as soon as I press enter, see what will happen. So as soon as I press enter, it said you have pressed 22, correct? Let's add a space here, and let's try it again. So I'll say 20 this time. Okay, so I can say 20. Now you can see what I'm getting. You entered 20. So what happened? Let's revise. First import, then we made an object of the scanner class. Now this scanner class has a function next int. Basically what this function does, it takes the input from the user and gives it back to the us, like gives back the number to us. So we store this number here, and now we can do anything with this number. Like what I can do, I can have even one more variable, and I can say scanner.nextInt, and I can say like I can say sum. Okay, so for I'll do what I'll do, I'll say a plus b. Okay, and let's wrap it in the parentheses because we want to sum the values and then print it on the screen. Now let's run this code. Okay, so what will happen? First of all, it's asking me the value for a, correct? So I can say let's say 20. Now as soon as I press enter, it says like this statement runs, right? Now let's say like for the b I can say 10. Now when I will press enter, see what happens. I'm getting sum to be 30. So basically what happened, 20 was assigned to a, then 10 was assigned to b, then what we did, a plus b, which gives me 30, then that was printed on the screen. So that's how you can take input from the user. Okay, so this next int function basically is responsible for taking an integer input. Similarly, if you have some other input, like let's say you have a string and like name equals to what I can say scanner, okay, dot next. Okay, for this we have like next line. Okay, so what I can do, like let's print the name as well of the user. So I'll say a space and the name. So let's run this code. So see, first of all, let me like I'll say 10, then I'll say 20. Okay, and for some reasons it didn't waited for me to enter this, like we are doing something wrong. Okay, let's try again. I don't know what happened, why it didn't waited. Okay, so first let's say 10, then let's say 20, and for some reasons it is not waiting for me to enter the string, like there is some issue. There's one more method to take the string input, that is the only next method. So let's try with this one. I'm not sure why that one is not working. So let's say 10, 20, and yeah, now I can say Piyush. Okay, and as soon as I click enter, so you can see like we are getting some 30 and my name is getting console like printed on the terminal. Okay, so I don't know why that next line was not working. So you can use this next function basically to take a scan, like a string input. Similarly for floats, what you can do, you can have a float. Okay, so f equals, and you can do the scanner dot next next float. Okay, so what this next float will do is basically take an float type, basically a decimal input, and assign to this f variable. Okay, so that was a very basic video on getting input from the user. So now what you can do, you can basically get the input from the user, right? And you can process the data, you can do some operations on that data and give the useful data back to the user. Now here's a short assignment for you. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to basically make a mini calculator app. Okay, so what will happen is basically what you can do, you can take two variables a and b and ask the user to enter two numbers, right? Then display what is the sum of those two numbers, what is the subtract of those two numbers, what is the multiplication, and similarly what is the division result of those number. So basically user gives you two numbers and you display all the you do all the arithmetic operations on those two numbers and display the result to the user. So this is your assignment. I suggest you, I recommend you to pause this video right here and complete this assignment, and the solution for this assignment I'll be showing you in the next video.